Hello there. All right. I'm gonna tell you exactly why I think the Indian Scout is an excellent beginner bike. Yes, there's a couple other bikes out there like the Sportster from Harley Davidson and like the Honda Rebel, and Kawasaki makes like the Vulcan and stuff. You know, those are really good, probably pretty good beginner bikes. But I think the Indian Scout is one of the best. And I'm gonna tell you why with my long history of experience, all 7 months of riding, why I think that. Yes, only 7 months. Yell at me, I don't care. But I say this because, for one, yes, it is 1133cc. It's 100 horsepower. It's liquid cooled, which is really nice. Damn cars, go away. How dare you drive on the road behind me. Anyways, what was I saying? So I also say this because as long as you know throttle control, you're fine. Because going through the first couple thousand RPMs, it acts like a Sportster, honestly. It doesn't crack you forward, but it gives you a little oomph. But once you pass that 3,500 to 4,000, that's when it really shows its colors. So with that being said, I think it definitely gives beginner riders, what's the word, like know-how and like good response to what the fuck they're doing. That's why I think it's an excellent beginner bike. And also this thing just, it sits so low, it's really nimble, like it's just the best of both worlds in my opinion as it comes to cruisers. Now sport bikes, I don't fucking know anything about. That's why I think this is the best, I should rephrase it, this is the best beginner bike for cruiser beginners, not sporties. And then once you do, in the beginning, once you do learn how to master, you know, that throttle control and maneuver this thing through some like little hairpoint turns and just, you know, take it, drive it just around the city. And then once you are more experienced, then you start going above them 4,000 RPMs and you really get to see this thing come to life. It is, this fucking bike is awesome. I've only had this thing for 500 miles and already I don't want to stop, but it's almost winter and I'm going to cry soon because I'm not going to be able to ride it. But that's why I think this bike is an excellent beginner bike. And also because this thing came out in, I believe, 2015. Yell at me if I'm wrong. But already there's a bunch of actual regular Scouts that are already being sold by a lot of people because they're already upgrading to like the Chiefs and the Springfields and whatnot, what have you, or they just want a brand new bobber because the bobber came out a couple years ago. You know, a lot of these Scouts are being for sale for like $7 grand. That's a pretty damn good price for a used motorcycle in my opinion. I was gonna do that, but then the bobber came out and I'm like, I want the bobber. But that's my reason why I think that this bike is an excellent beginner bike. You can start from the bottom with this bike and you go to the top with this bike. And then you don't have to do like an 883 and, you know, start off with something moderately kind of fast, but you know, it's an 883. It's not gonna fucking make any records. But then if you want to upgrade, you could either bore it out to a 1200, which costs a lot of money and it's not that much reward, or you'd have to sell that bike and get something else. I mean, that's what a lot of people do, but I don't see the point in trading in and buying new all the time. I just like to try and have one main thing. I mean, yes, of course, I'm going to buy more motorcycles in the future, but what kind of a person am I? But for me, I'm gonna keep this guy forever and then get like a FTR for some fun. Another car. Go away, no one likes it. But yeah, that's the reason why I think this is an excellent beginner bike. Please give me your comments on if I'm right, if I'm wrong, what your first beginner bike was. You know, because this isn't my first bike, but it's the bike I'm keeping. I had a Honda Shadow, which was it was all right for a beginner bike, just made because it was shaft driven. It was really smooth, but it was kind of big. And then I had a 1200. I didn't really care for it though. And then I got this bad boy, and I'm in love. I love it. But that's my 2 cents on that whole issue for beginner bikes. But take it for a grain of salt. If you like it, my opinion, cool. If you don't, tell me why. All right, so thanks, and have a good one.